welcome to my channel. It's been kind of a crazy year. Today I am filming this and it is Friday, June 29th. I was planning on filming this part tomorrow on Saturday, June 30th, because it's the last day of June. And that is significant in this episode, or this part. But I'm actually going to work tour. I'm really excited about it. I won't be able to film because I'll be busy all day. So we're in June right now, almost July. So let's rewind a little bit and go back to January. So I started my third semester at BYU, Idaho, and things were going great for probably the first 2 weeks. And then I had this like stomach pain on my side right here. I don't know if you could see it, like side right here. And it's, at first I didn't pay attention to what was causing it, like what was happening before the pain. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. I thought it was just I'm sick, or and so a couple weeks went by and I was like, oh my gosh, what if it's another cyst? So in the past I've had a couple of ovarian cysts and they're on the same side but they're a little bit lower, and so I was like, pain sometimes isn't exactly where it is for me. Like sometimes I can have pain in a certain spot but the problem is in a completely different spot. It's weird. My body's weird. I was like, oh no, what if it's a cyst? And so I went to my doctor and she did an ultrasound. I was like, no, you don't have any cysts, you're okay. And just to preface, I had a cyst in November, end of November, December. And so I was like, oh no, is it still there? Did it go away? Like, did something happen? Do I have a new one? Did it like shrink and then grow back? So I was confused. There was no signs of anything, and so she's like, okay, we're gonna do a couple tests on you. I want to do get your hormones checked, I want to get your glucose checked, I want to do kind of a bunch of lab work just to make sure we're looking at everything we can. After those tests were done, I had another appointment to go over lab results because she's like, hey, I want you to come in. She's like, oh, I'm kind of surprised that they were all normal. And she was like very rude about it. I didn't really like her. It's like, well, there's a couple things that we should start off with. And she's like, so first you need to lose weight. You're too fat. And I was like, girl, that is the rudest thing you could say to someone. And I never went back to her. I was like, no, I'm not. And so we decided to go see a GI doctor, gastroenterologist. We did a bunch of tests. We did a CAT scan, we did ultrasounds, we did an MRI, I believe, blood work, everything you can imagine. They're like, no, you look good, like, because right over here you have a gallbladder, and at first they're like, oh, is your gallbladder? And the CAT scan came back and it was like, oh no, your gallbladder looks fine, there's no gallstones, no nothing, so you're good. And I was like, okay, then what the heck is this? What is going on? Why am I in a bunch of pain? And so they're like, you probably have gastritis. So he put me on some pills to help. I took them, didn't help. After the pills didn't work, he was like, okay, so now let's do like a colonoscopy, endoscopy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've had one of those before. It's kind of one of those things where you like want your parents, you know? And so my dad lives in Utah, and so he drove up and then we drove down afterward. And then we got the results back from that. All came back negative, no celiac, no inflammation in the intestines or the colon or any of that. And so no signs of anything, no diseases. Even though we already kind of looked at the gallbladder, there's one test that we can do to see if it's something else with the gallbladder, like a blockage that's not necessarily stone. And so that is called a HIDA scan. And so mine was really, really slow. Like, this is the problem. It's your gallbladder. And so they're like, you have to get your gallbladder taken out. And so, like, my parents were both like, is this something that we can wait until after the semester in April, or is this something we should take care of now? And my mom's had her gallbladder out, and once we finally knew, oh, it's a gallbladder, and I was telling my mom my pain, that it's consistent, it's like not going away, she was like, oh, let's just withdraw you from school, send you down to Utah and have it getting taken out there, and then you can just take a semester off and work on yourself and getting better. On March 29th, I get my gallbladder removed. It was a rough recovery and a lot of problems with gallbladder removal slash like not having your gallbladder anymore is you can't have a lot of fat in your foods because the gallbladder has bile in it, and bile helps like break down fat. And so if you don't have like fat from foods, so if you don't have your gallbladder, it like makes it very painful and like kind of disgusting to try to get rid of the like fat in foods. And so, and apparently it happens differently with different kinds of people. Like my mom didn't have any problems, and then like after her surgery, and then my mom had a couple friends who like one of them had problems the first couple weeks or months and then was completely fine. And then I have an aunt who had problems like up for a year, and then some people have problems for the rest of their lives, like they can't have a lot of things. I went in expecting, oh, like my mom and I have similar body types, so like it's gonna be the same, like I'm not gonna have any problems, I'll be okay. But that's not the case. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't know what I could and couldn't eat, and so my dad has a friend who is a dietitian, and so we decided, okay, we're gonna have you meet with her. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but she can give you some guidance on what you can and can't eat. So we started that. At first it was very difficult because it's like, okay, you have to remember, you have to post every meal on the app, you have to stick with your diet very strictly, you can't like do a lot of things, and like we're gonna get you as healthy as you can be. And so we did we started to work together, and we figured some things out, like, okay, we're gonna start off with this like gallbladder diet, like absent gallbladder diet kind of thing. And so that worked, sorta. Some of the meal plan, like she gave me a meal plan, and some of the meals on it, some hurt, some didn't. It was an extremely like trial and error period. Like, okay, that's not gonna work, okay, well, don't eat that. Oh, that does work, eat that as much as you like. It was probably such a frustrating thing. And then things started to like slowly get worse and worse and worse, and so I ended up going on a liquid diet. So I was just doing juices and water and I did that for about 5 days. My pain was decreasing. It started kind of like at an 8, and then it slowly went down to a 4, and then it kind of just like plateaued, you know. And I was like, you know what, I can't live on these juices, I can't do it. I've done it for 5 days, I just need something. And so then I went off the diet, which I probably should have stayed on for at least a week to 10. And so after that, like, we're like, I don't know what's going on. I had a lot of like kind of breakdowns about it. It's so frustrating. Like, I don't even want to do it anymore. There was a point where I was like, okay, I'm going back to Boston. And I was frustrated, and my mom ended up having this gut feeling like it's the gluten. We need to take gluten out of the diet. We need to just eat clean. And so she's like, no dairy, no gluten, no sugar, and no fat. And you're gonna do that for 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll check in, and if you're still not well, we'll bring you back out to Boston. And so we did that, but I was still having a lot of pain after a couple weeks, and the pain wasn't going down as quickly as we thought. And so we ended up going to see another GI doctor. So I just got back from the doctor's, and she said basically there's no more tests we can do to figure out what's wrong. And so I have to go on a diet called the FODMAPs diet. It's what I'm doing already, but there's like certain fruits and veggies that are on here that I shouldn't eat that I have been eating, and so maybe it'll work. It's been, I think, about 3 weeks on the diet, maybe almost 4, and my pain has decreased probably like every like 3 days. It goes down like a number, and so I'm like right now at like a 1. It's slowly going down, but it's frustrating. And I've had some bad days, some really bad days, and then some, you know, good days, but it's been difficult. The last like couple days before June, my dad and I were like, let's do like a 30-day fitness challenge for the month of June, just to kind of get us motivated to kind of like start working out more and exercising. And I was doing like walks like once a day. That was going okay, but my dad and I were like, okay, we really need to like kickstart this thing. I have a goal that I want to lose this amount of weight by my birthday. My birthday's in October, and so we're like, I really need to just step this up. And so we like, okay, we both have gym memberships, we both need to get back to the gym, and so why don't we do 30-day, okay, we're gonna go to the gym every day. And so that's what I've been posting on Instagram story. Oh my goodness, this is what I've been looking for. I have been looking for this feeling that I get, the satisfaction, the sweatiness that I can't stop sweating, this out of breath, this oh my gosh, I totally just worked out, not this like skimpy walk for a little bit, then do the machines until I'm tired kind of thing. I haven't been very consistent in posting, but we have been every day for the month of June. Today is June 29th. See? June 29th. And tomorrow is day 30. The 30th day. And each week I've been doing, like every Friday, I've been doing measurements and weighing myself and taking pictures. And I'm gonna post pictures, but I'm not gonna do the measurements or the weight yet, because I am kind of like in this routine now. Oh, I'm going to the gym. I now have a personal training kind of thing, and classes I can go to that are like strength training and that are going to be very helpful for me to lose weight by my goal, and to continue that. So it was originally like a 30-day thing. I feel like that if I don't go every day, that like I'm gonna be like, oh, it's so nice not to go to the gym or something like that, and it's gonna get in my head like, oh, you know, you don't have to go to gym today, oh, you don't have to go to gym this day either, and then I'm gonna fall out. And so like I'm just nervous about that, so I'm not gonna let that happen, and I'm gonna do at least another 2 months, so another 60 days of this going to the gym every day, working out every day, eating healthy every day. It's the weirdest feeling because it's like if I wasn't in a situation where I was eating something and it made me feel in pain or feel sick, like that is really giving me the motivation, like, oh, you can't eat that or whatever, you know. I'd have all this motivation to work out every day and to eat on this really strict diet if it wasn't for the circumstances that I've been in. And this is just the beginning.